Okay, so get this right. I found this offer online, and it's called Mail Your Offer 25. And I gotta say, I'm kind of excited, but also kind of wary.
Oh, how come?
Well, they're saying they can send any URL you give them to like over 35,000 people every single day for a whole year.
Wow, that's a lot.
And get this, it's all for under 10 bucks.
Yeah, that's a pretty big claim. Sounds a little too good to be true, you know? Like if it were that easy, wouldn't everyone be a millionaire already?
That's exactly what I thought. It's like they're dangling this carrot in front of you.
Yeah.
But before we get carried away, I think we should take a closer look, right? See what this Mail Your Offer 25 is all about. Separate the hype from reality.
I'm with you. So what do we actually know about this offer? What are the details?
Okay, so from what I gather, they're saying they'll accept any URL. Doesn't matter what it's about, your website, a landing page, whatever.
Okay, and then what?
Then they blast this URL out to, get this, 35,119 members across 25 different websites.
25 different websites. What kind of websites are we talking about?
So apparently they're all make money online websites,
Yeah.
MMO websites, and they're all owned by this guy named Dawood Islam.
Dawud Islam. Huh. Does that name ring a bell? Is he like a big name in the MMO world?
Well, that's the thing. They highlight him as a top affiliate and vendor on these platforms like Warrior Plus and JVZoo.
Ah, okay. So they're trying to like borrow credibility.
Exactly. Like, hey, if he's successful, maybe you can be too.
Yeah, it's a classic marketing tactic. But success in one area doesn't automatically mean someone's going to deliver quality services to others.
That's a good point. And we don't even know anything about the traffic coming from these 25 MMO websites.
Hmm.
Are these people actually looking for new opportunities, or are they just bombarded with offers all the time?
That's a crucial question. I mean, 35,000 emails sounds impressive, but what matters is engagement, right? Are people
Mm.
clicking through? Are they converting? We have no idea.
And here's another thing. They use this thing called a rotator system. So basically, your URL is randomly displayed alongside others.
Ah, I see.
So even if someone clicks on a link from this mass email, there's no guarantee they'll even see yours.
It's a gamble, like throwing your message into a sea of other messages and hoping someone picks it out.
Exactly. And talk about risks. Let's talk about the refund policy. Ready for this? No refunds.
No refunds at all.
Nope. Not after your URL is added and that first email goes out.
Wow. That's pretty bold. It's like they're trying to discourage people from backing out once they realize what the traffic's really like.
He's like, get in and there's no turning back. Oh, and to sweeten the deal, they throw in these 5 fast action bonuses. They have names like Animal Kingdom Anarchy and Crazy Coupon Cash.
Animal Kingdom Anarchy, crazy coupon cash. It's like something out of a late night infomercial.
I know, right? It's all a bit much.
Hmm.
But seriously, what's the actual value of these bonuses?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, especially since the main offer is about driving traffic to any URL. Do these bonuses even align with that goal? It seems a little disjointed.
It does, doesn't it? It feels like they're trying to distract us with all this flashy stuff, while the core offer itself remains kind of mysterious.
Classic marketing tactic. But, the question remains, is it just clever marketing? Or are there legitimate concerns about the quality and effectiveness of what they're offering?
That's what we're trying to figure out. But before we get too deep into that, there's one more thing we need to address. They do acknowledge that results aren't guaranteed, right?
Oh, yeah, of course. They have this disclaimer saying earnings aren't guaranteed and that individual results will vary.
Right. Which, to be fair, is understandable. No legitimate online marketing strategy can promise you'll get rich.
Right. But, I mean, where's the line between acknowledging that success takes effort and basically washing their hands of any responsibility for the outcome?
Exactly. So while they're not outright making false promises, the way they're framing this offer, it's definitely a little eyebrow-raising.
Yeah, I get you. It's like they're saying, here's this fire hose of traffic, but don't blame us if you get soaked and nothing catches fire.
That's a perfect analogy. And that's where we as consumers have to be smart, right? We need to be able to read between the lines and not get swept up in the hype.
Couldn't agree more. So what do you say we take a closer look at this Dawood Islam and his MMO websites?
Yeah, let's do it. Maybe we can find some reviews, discussions, something that gives us a better sense of what his network is all about.
Sounds good. And while we're at it, let's try to understand how this rotator system actually works. Is there any logic to it? Any way to ensure some level of relevance?
Totally. The more we understand how it works, the better we can assess the potential benefits and risks.
Exactly. And hey, maybe we should look into those fast action bonuses as well. Are they actually valuable resources or just distractions meant to make the offer seem more appealing?
Yeah. Let's see if we can separate the wheat from the chaff, so to speak.
Good plan.
So to recap, we've laid out the basics, identified the key parts of this offer, and highlighted some initial concerns.
We have.
Now it's time to dive deeper, see if we can unravel this mail your offer 25 puzzle.
I'm ready when you are.
All right, let's do it. All right, so we spent some time looking into this Dawood Islam and his MMO websites. And, well, it's been interesting, to say the least.
Oh, what did you find?
Well, there's not a whole lot of information out there. But what we did find is, let's just say it's a mixed bag.
Mixed bag, like some good, some bad.
More like vague praise and some outright skepticism, you know. It seems like some people have bought his products, but the results they got, well, they're questionable. There's a lot of talk about the traffic being untargeted and low quality. One person even said it was like throwing spaghetti at a wall and hoping some of it sticks.
Ouch. That's not exactly a glowing review, but it does kind of line up with what we were thinking about, the lack of control with that rotator system.
Exactly. And speaking of that rotator system, we tried to find out more about how it actually works. But the details are super scarce. There's no mention of any algorithm or filtering process, nothing to ensure your URL is shown to the right people. It's like a black box.
Yeah, that's concerning. Without any transparency into how the system works, it's impossible to know if your URL will even reach the right people. It's basically a shot in the dark.
Right. And that lack of transparency makes it even harder to figure out what those fast action bonuses are really worth. We took a look at the descriptions, and they're just all over the place. Ebooks and courses on all sorts of MMO topics.
Did any of them seem relevant to, actually driving traffic to a URL?
Not really. There's one called Animal Kingdom Anarchy, which is apparently about using animal-themed niches to make money online.
Animal-themed niches, huh? Interesting.
Then there's Cougar Commissions, which is
Ah.
about, well, let's just say it involves targeting a very specific demographic.
Okay. And what about that Crypto Crackers one? Is that about cryptocurrency?
Yep, it promises to teach you how to make money with crypto, which, again, seems totally unrelated to the main offer. It's like they're just throwing a bunch of random MMO stuff at you to make the offer seem more valuable.
Yeah, like a grab bag of digital products, hoping something in there will appeal to you. But, the lack of focus, it makes you wonder about their overall strategy. Are they actually trying to help you succeed with your specific URL, or are they just trying to, bombard you with a bunch of random MMO opportunities?
Right. It all comes back to that fundamental question. Is this Mail Your Offer 25 a legitimate way to drive traffic to your website, or just a clever way to make money off of people who are, trying to build their online businesses?
It's a tough one. There are aspects of it that could be helpful, especially for someone who's just starting out and doesn't have a lot of money to spend. But the lack of transparency, the potentially low-quality traffic, the whole randomness of that rotator system, it makes it a risky move.
It's like they're offering you a ride in a car with no brakes, no steering wheel, and a blindfolded driver. You might get somewhere, but it's probably not going to be where you wanted to go.
That's a great way to put it. And it just shows how important it is to be careful, to really do your research before you invest in any online opportunity, especially one that's making big promises with minimal effort.
Absolutely. There's no such thing as a free lunch, right?
Hmm.
And anyone who tells you otherwise is probably trying to sell you something.
True that. So let's shift gears a little bit. Let's say, hypothetically, someone is determined to try this Mail Your Offer 25, despite the risks. What advice would you give them? How can they make the most of it?
That's a great question. Even though it's a gamble, there are things you can do to try and improve your chances, right? For example, if you're promoting a product or service, make sure your landing page is super clear, easy to understand, and optimized for conversions.
Definitely. You want to make sure you're getting the most out of every click, even if it's from someone who might not be your ideal customer.
Exactly. And your messaging, it needs to be strong and to the point.
Yeah.
You only have a few seconds to grab someone's attention in an email, so you got to make them count.
That's a good point. And maybe, think about building relationships with other people in those MMO communities. Networking and collaborating can be valuable, even if the traffic from the Mail Your Offer 25 doesn't bring you immediate results.
That's a great idea. It's all about thinking strategically and being creative, right? Finding ways to leverage whatever opportunities you have.
Absolutely. And maybe most importantly, go into it with the right mindset. Don't expect to get rich overnight or see a ton of sales right away. Treat it as an experiment, a learning experience, and track your results carefully.
I like that. It's about managing your expectations, being realistic, and learning as you go.
Exactly. Online marketing is a marathon, not a sprint. And this mail your offer 25, it might seem like a shortcut, but it's important to remember there's no substitute for hard work, strategic thinking, and building a sustainable online presence over time.
So well said. I think at the end of the day, we can't say for sure whether this mail your offer 25 is a scam or a legitimate opportunity. But we've identified some key areas of concern, right? And we've offered some practical advice for anyone who's considering giving it a try.
Yeah, we've laid it all out, the good and the bad. Now it's up to our listeners to weigh the evidence and decide for themselves.
This whole deep dive into mail your offer 25, it's really got me thinking about the bigger picture of online marketing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to get caught up in these promises of like tons of traffic and instant results. But I think it's so important to take a step back and really think about the fundamentals.
Totally. Like we've been saying, there's no magic bullet. Building a successful online presence, it takes time, it takes effort, and it takes a real understanding of like who you're trying to reach.
Right. Like you were saying before, it's about making connections, not just blasting your message out to everyone.
Exactly. It's about quality, not just quantity.
So let's say someone's listening to this and thinking, okay, mail your offer 25 might not be the best way to go, but I still want to get my message out there. What are some other strategies they could consider?
Well, there are a lot of different approaches, but one that's really effective is content marketing.
Oh yeah, content marketing. What's that all about?
Basically, it's about creating valuable content that attracts your target audience. Things like blog posts, videos, social media updates, that kind of stuff.
I see. So you're basically establishing yourself as
Yeah.
like an expert, right?
Right, a thought leader in your niche.
Yeah.
And that naturally drives traffic to your website.
Okay, that makes sense. And it really ties into what we've been talking about, building relationships and providing value.
Exactly. It's not just about selling, it's about educating, entertaining, engaging with your audience.
Okay, cool. So content marketing is one option. What else?
Well, another classic strategy is building an email list.
Email marketing. That's still a thing.
Oh, absolutely. It's one of the best ways to communicate directly with people who are interested in what you have to offer. You can build relationships with them over time, provide them with valuable content, and keep them coming back for more.
That's a good point. And it's something you have more control over, right?
Yeah,
Compared to relying on someone else's list and just hoping for the best.
exactly. You're in the driver's seat.
Okay, so content marketing, email marketing. What about social media? That seems like a big one these days.
Oh, yeah, social media is huge. Platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, they can be really powerful tools for connecting with your audience, building a community, and promoting your products or services.
But it's not just about blasting out your message on social media, right?
No, definitely not. It's about listening to your audience, engaging in conversations, building those authentic relationships.
Right, it's about being social.
Exactly. And then, of course, there's paid advertising.
Paid advertising like Google Ads and Facebook ads.
Exactly. Those platforms allow you to target your ideal audience very specifically. You can set a budget, track your results, and really see what's working and what's not.
That makes sense. So while it does cost money, it can be a good way to get your message in front of the right people quickly.
Right. It can be very effective if you do it right.
Okay, so we've got content marketing, email marketing, social media, paid advertising. Is there anything else we're missing?
Oh, and we can't forget about the importance of networking.
Networking.
Yeah, connecting with other people in your niche, going to industry events, collaborating on projects, it can open up so many opportunities and help you grow your reach.
That's a good point. And it's all about building relationships.
Yeah.
Supporting each other.
Absolutely. It's not a zero-sum game. We can all succeed together.
I think that's a great message.
Oh.
So at the end of the day, there's no single right way to do online marketing, right?
Right. It's about finding what works best for you, your business, and your target audience.
And being willing to experiment, learn, and adapt along the way.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So, yeah, mail your offer 25 might seem like a tempting shortcut, but the real way to build a successful online business is through those genuine connections, valuable content, and a strong foundation for growth.
Well said. So I think we've covered a lot today. We've taken a deep dive into mail your offer 25, explored the pros and cons, and offered some alternative strategies for anyone looking to navigate the world of online marketing.
It's been a great conversation.
As always, a huge thank you to our listeners for joining us. We hope you found this deep dive insightful.
Until next time, stay curious and keep learning.